Hello book lovers and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another book review. Today we are going to be discussing Apollyon by Jennifer L. Armentrout, the fourth book in the Covenant series. What even happened in this book? First off, if you don't know what the Half-Blood series is about, I'm just going to direct you to my first 3 book reviews on all the books in this series. Just go watch them and go read the books, and it's just awesome. You need to read them. You need to read them. I highly recommend. For those of you that have not read Apollyon, but you have read Deity, the third book, and why haven't you read this? Because of that plot twist at the very end of the third book. How could you not already read this? If you haven't read Apollyon yet and you're kind of waiting to read it, first read Elixir before you read Apollyon, because honestly I think it was really dumb to not put Elixir at the beginning of Apollyon, because for the people that have not read Elixir, who just decide not to read Elixir because they just don't read novellas, like I usually don't read novellas. I'm that kind of reader where like I just don't find it to be very important unless people tell me yes, it's very important and vital to the story for you to read it. It's very vital to the story that you read Elixir. Otherwise you're gonna be really confused at the very beginning of this book, because something happens and then you're gonna be like, what? It's just gonna confuse you. So read Elixir before you read Apollyon. It's freaking amazing and I'm so excited to read the 5th book. I just wish it would come in the mail sooner. I ordered it like yesterday and I should have ordered it sooner so I could have it already, but I procrastinate things, so a fatal flaw. So that is all I'm going to tell you before I dive into the spoilery section. It was amazing. 5 out of 5 stars. I'm ready for the finale. Guys, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's just I don't even know what to say. Alex at the beginning of this book wasn't even Alex. It was so weird seeing her be that way, being controlled by Seth. He manipulates her so much in this book. I don't know how he's gonna come back from it. Like, I don't know how. I mean, can he? Like, I don't know. Seth in this book is like evil, like in my opinion, because he's taken over her brain, taken over her freedom to like freely think what she wants, but she still cares for Seth in a way, and I don't know how she does, because if somebody did that to me, like I'd be really angry. And she still thinks of Seth as a friend, and she still loves him, and she doesn't want to kill him. She's gonna die. I feel like she's gone to the underworld too many times already. I don't know if we can go back a 3rd time and come back to the mortal world and live out our lives freely with Aiden. So the beginning of this book was just like crazy, and I'm so glad that Aiden decided that he was gonna fight and he was going to show her who she really was, and this was just by talking to her and just showing her that he still loved her even though she was crazy. Wasn't really in control of herself and her mind. I'm just mad at Seth. I just want to talk about how mad I am at Seth, because he was manipulating her throughout this entire book, and the fact that she called him my Seth, no. No. Aiden is in game. I'm just very disappointed in him. She's so loyal to Lucian, and because Lucian's like, I don't know, like a father figure to him, but Lucian is manipulating him. He's just using him. Who else called it that instructor Romby was the one? I knew it from I knew it from like maybe the 3rd book. I knew it. I mean, when they said that there was another god disguised as a mortal and he was probably around the Covenants and probably watching Alex and everyone else, I knew it was that guy. And I knew it was War. I knew it was Ares. It wouldn't make sense to be any other god. Even like when Persephone was like saying stuff about War, like, come on Alex, click in your mind. If me, a mortal and a mundane, you know, not a half-blood or pure-blood, can tell that it is Ares. All right, let's just get into the book. I feel like I'm just ranting. I'm not even going to my notes. I'm just ranting about the things that I think. Oh my gosh. One thing that we find out about Alex's dad, half his tongue has been cut out. That's why he wasn't talking to Alex when she was trying to talk to him in the 2nd book, because he couldn't. I was just thinking maybe like they take the elixir and they really can't talk, or maybe he's under something that he can't talk, but that's just worse. She'll never be able to like hear his voice or anything. Maybe we can get a god to like heal him. Maybe. I mean, we brought her back from the dead. I think we can repair his tongue. We're on the 5th book now. Like, I'm moving on to the 5th book and we still haven't met her dad. We've only heard things about her dad. I want her to meet her dad, okay? She's lost so many people, and she's lost her mom, she's lost Caleb, she's lost lost Leah. She's lost so many things. She's lost her freedom to the elixir and to Seth. She's just gone through a lot, and I think she just needs her dad. It's just so sad. I know he's not dead. Like, she's suspecting that maybe he's dead. We need that moment. We need that moment where she can talk to him. It'll probably be like, maybe it'll be in the 5th book, maybe at the end, or maybe at the beginning. Maybe we'll find him, have a heart-to-heart. I would want a little bit more of a backstory of her mom and her dad meeting and how they kind of fell in love. I just think it's funny that she fell in love with a pureblood, and then her mom, who was a pureblood, fell in love with a half-blood. That rule between the breeding rule. Ugh, don't even call it breeding. Like, what the crap? That rule is ridiculous, and we need that lifted. You know what I want? I just want Aiden and Alex to end up together and to have a happy life. They don't have to give up their duties as like a pureblood and a half-blood, because they both want to be like sentinels. Aiden and Alex talked about it, and Aiden would say, I would give up all of that, pretty much like pretend to be immortal, to be with you. I don't think they both want that to happen, so I'm hoping that by the end of the 5th book, they won't have to give up that part of themselves, and that these stupid rules that we have in this world will go away. But also, like, a pureblood and a half-blood make an Apollyon. So maybe at the end of the 5th book, the gods have to just kick out that rule and be like, okay, a pureblood and a half-blood don't make an Apollyon. Do they control that? I don't know. I think so, because Zeus is the one that first created the Apollyon. So if he can make the Apollyon into existence, then he probably can make the Apollyon out of existence. So like if a pureblood and a half-blood have a child, it doesn't make an Apollyon anymore. And I think that's like the only danger of a pureblood and a half-blood having a kid and like getting together is because of that. We do not want any more god killers in existence. So I think that that's something that has to happen in order for the breeding rule. I hate that. I hate that so much. It'd be worse if it was like mating rule. No, it's still bad. It's still bad. So seeing Leah die. What? Like, we just became friends with Leah. I love Leah's character. I love those mean characters because I feel like they just bring more into the story. They just bring more funniness. It's just better with like a mean character, and we had Leah from the very beginning, and over time they have become friends. I love seeing that character development between Alex and Leah, because they're both becoming more mature because of all this stuff that's going on. They're both just seeing each other in a different light, so they're friends, finally friends, and then Leah dies. Like, what the crap, Jennifer? What the crap? Having Olivia die wouldn't have been as painful as having Leah die, because I loved her character. I mean, Olivia is just like, to me, Olivia is kind of like a bland character. She's just a character that's there. Leah is just a little bit more complex. She's a more complex character. We learned more about her and why her and Alex hate each other. And you know what? I don't blame Leah for freaking hating Alex for her entire life. Her stepmom was a pureblood, and she has a pureblood sister, so she's just like been among like purebloods. But the thing about her was that she really loved her family, even though that they were purebloods and all this stuff. And you know, Alex made fun of her because she was so jealous of her, and I felt bad for Leah. Like, hearing that story of why they hate each other, like the real reason, Alex was a freaking bully. Leah was really the victim. No wonder she's mean to Alex. My heart went out to her. It's just sad because I feel like she had more to live for. I just love her character, so I would have liked like maybe like a short story with her, or even like books in her point of view, because I really enjoyed her character, and it's really sad that she's dead now. But maybe if Alex dies at the end of the 5th book, maybe we'll see Leah. No, probably not. Probably not. So when Ares stabbed Alex, it was like deja vu from the 3rd book. Ares, he hurt her enough to where she went to Olympus, and then she went to the underworld to talk to her mom. I really love that moment between her and her mom, because like we know that her mom is like okay and she's fine. She just reassured Alex that everything was gonna be okay and that paradise was waiting for her. That fight between her and Ares was a little weird. I didn't really understand it that much. It just seemed like people were really happy that she didn't let Ares just take her over and she didn't submit to him. I mean, it wouldn't be in her nature to submit to him, and that's why I was just a little confused why everybody was like surprised that she didn't, you know, submit to him, because that's just her character. She's very strong-willed. That's why it was really sad at the beginning of the book where Seth took away her will. So anyways, Alex might die in the 5th book. I don't know how she couldn't die, because once she has all that power, like if she takes all the power away from Seth, then she has all the power and she's like a god killer. I think it will just take her over, and then Apollo we'll probably have to kill her. Maybe if he brings her back to life, then maybe she won't be the Apollyon anymore. I don't really know what's gonna happen in the 5th book. I have some predictions, but I don't know, guys. I don't know, and I have to wait for this book to come in the mail, and it's probably gonna take a long time because I ordered it off of eBay so I could have like the original covers. So I bought the original cover. I bought it off of eBay because that was the only place that had it. I have to wait for a really long time. I don't know what's gonna come, but I'm really excited to read this conclusion. So comment down below what you guys thought about this book. I would love to hear your predictions and what you guys think is going to happen in the 5th book. What was your favorite part in this book? And yeah, there was just a lot of stuff going on in this book, and I don't know what's going to happen. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!